Hello, everyone. This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D. And yes, I am representing my Philadelphia Eagles gear again. For those of you who are not fans, that's okay. But I'm repping. I always believe once a fan, always a fan. So you don't bounce on your team when they have a bad season. You stay with them. But I'm excited to share what we're going to be sharing here in a few moments because we're still in the throes of the new year. And I'm going to start off by saying, as we do this particular video, that I really want you to contribute. Like go to the chat feature and contribute. If you're in Facebook, you have to accept StreamYard before you can contribute. So you got to accept StreamYard before you can contribute. And then some of you have Facebook user. When you type it in, it's like put your name in so we know who it is, and we'll go from there. Good to see you, Eva. Good to see you, Lily. Thank you for following us on this. And your input and your contributions have been valuable ever since we started doing these weekly events. Thank you, Patricia. I love the Eagles too. All right, you just elevated yourself to the smartest person on this session. But anywho, I'm by myself today, and we'll have other folks come back on, and Jay will be back on, and then Pierre and Rachel and others we've had on, and I'm going to really start reaching out to some of you as well, because I think when we look at this work that we're doing, your input is valuable, and some of you have been kind of with us for a while, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on some of these things. But today is important because we're living in a really interesting time that has me, and if I can just have a sobering moment right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in our country, as we know, on the personal side, and I don't want to go into talking about politics and all of that. But, due to COVID, there's a lot of illness, people, not just the deaths and all that, but it just seems like the illnesses have increased. I hear more about people being sick and not feeling well, and a variety of different things, and feeling fatigued and feeling exhausted and I'm going to say this. I think a lot of it has to do with the lifestyle we now live that we didn't live, well over a year ago. Well over a year ago, where we're active. We would get up in the morning, we do our morning routines and all of that, and we were active. We were in it. We were participating in the daily routine of work and life and raising children. But back in March of last year, everything changed. We went to everything being isolated pretty much in a home. Now, today, we still have some people that are going out into the actual workplace. And, I just wonder about that sometime with this disease floating around here. Is this wise? But that's just my perspective. But, but the reality is you still have a lot of people here in the United States, and I know we have people that come on here from abroad that are still somewhat sedentary. So I'm saying that to say that today, and probably for the next 3 or 4 sessions, I want to just talk about our health, and I want to talk about we have to take control of our health. All right. And what I mean by that is, since we're not moving as much as we used to, since we're not as active as we once were, we have to intentionally do those things now. Since we are home a lot, you see, yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. CC. Everyone's different. It's different places. I guess they probably base it on where you're located. So maybe the counts weren't that high where you are. Good morning. We see Equus Workforce Solutions. Don't see the name, but good morning from Equus. Glad to have you on board. Just a few things I want to mention by the way of just general insights. Tomorrow I'll be doing a webinar for the National Association of Workforce Development Professionals it's really designed to help managers and directors and leaders better mentor their staff. And so if you don't have a system in place for that, and or you want to enhance what you're currently doing, it's an hour-long webinar, 1:00 Central Time. Go to NAWDP's website. I think I put the link in here and check it out, because it's going to be powerful. because I think mentoring is so important to overall organizational success. So just wanted to put that in there just as a kind of a note, because I'm enjoying doing this work for NAUDIT. At the end of the month, we're doing a workshop for staff to learn how to mentor clients. That's going to really be powerful. So if you go to the link that's on my page, on this just for this thread, you'll see both of those events. So just wanted to mention it because it's not something that's talked about a lot, but it's so needed in our industry. So back to this this health piece. I've been privileged and honored to have been able to interact with some of the most amazing human beings on the planet. And I mean that. My work has just taken me all over the world. But one person my work had me intersect with was a guy that many of you may know or many of you may not. His name is Jim Rohn. And Jim was probably, in my early stages of speaking and training, one of the most notarized, well-known speakers and trainers in the world, literally. And so I had a chance to interact with him and see him at a meeting for the National Speakers Association. And I want you guys to hear what I'm saying, because this is important, okay? He was talking about his upbringing, and he was talking about his childhood and his parents and all. And one thing he said that was so moving is that one thing he loved about his parents is his parents gave he and his siblings the gift of good health. And I said, wow, I never heard that before. And he said they gave them the gift. You may want to write that down. I'm going to type it in the chat feature. The gift of good health. Now, because when he said that, he was not just talking about his parents to them because that's what they were doing. Like some people say, oh, they're just kids. No, their parents didn't say they were just kids. Their parents were saying, listen, your habits are going to be established early. So we're going to do our best as early as possible to teach you how to eat healthy. Now, I got to admit that I can do better myself with my own kids. But my kids are a little older now. But the reality is his parents said, no, you're not going to eat all that candy. No, you're not. Some people say, well, they're just kids. But what people don't realize is this. We're establishing their habits. The things that they're going to carry into lifetime. So by just saying, oh, they're just kids, no. Oh, they're just kids are going to mean, oh, they're just adults. No, that don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a sourpuss here and say, don't let your kids have a cupcake or let your kids have some candy. But when he said the gift of good health, I got it, because what he was saying is when he and his siblings became adults, they operated within healthy lifestyles. And then mentioned about how his parents lived that way. And they lived to a very old, many years. And when they perished, it was just time to perish. But during their years in their 50s and 60s and even 70s, they were independent because they took care of themselves. So it was a gift because, and I know this seems almost insensitive, and I don't mean to be insensitive because I'm not, because I'm a parent and I'm taking care of a parent now that's having some issues with health, but they never had to do that because their parents gave them a gift. All right. They gave them a gift. I remember this. This is important. I remember this. Remember something that happened. I was invited to, it's been years ago. And sometimes when it's been years and years, you haven't seen people, you remember their names and sometimes you don't. But there was a lady that I would interact with in some of our programs, training programs. We were contracted to do work with their school district. I believe Vera Hextall. And I remember when Vera retired during the time when I was going out there, we were doing a lot of training with their school district for their staff, for their teachers, for their students. And she and I became good friends because she introduced me to the district and opened up that door. Good morning, Facebook user. Again, you said Facebook user, so I don't know who that is. And so I went to her retirement party, and she was probably, I guess, 63 or 4 years old when she retired. And her niece got up and spoke about her. Okay. And her niece broke down in tears as she was honoring her aunt. And she said, I'm crying because, first of all, I love my aunt. But the second reason why is look at her. She's retiring. She's healthy. And what she said was, my aunt basically is a vegetarian. She don't eat junk food. She don't eat any of these type of things. Hey, Nadine, welcome on board. And she said she always thought about us and the impact of her life on us as family. And I said, man, people don't talk about this stuff. Good morning, Nadine. Glad to have you on board. We don't talk about this. Like we celebrate. I'm just going to be honest with you. Oh, y'all going to be frustrated with me after this, but we celebrate eating. And we come together and eat everything we're big and bad enough to do, and we celebrate it. As a matter of fact, I grew up in a world that if you didn't have like a plate falling over, thank you, Dr. Rochelle. Now I know who it is. All right, thank you. Because sometimes you just can't see who the names are. And I grew up in a world where if you didn't have a plate that where stuff was falling off of it, people thought something was wrong with you. Or if you went on a diet and tried to become healthy and family members see you, they look at you like you sick. Something wrong with you. It's like you are encouraged towards unhealthy lifestyles. You listen, y'all got to get this. This is a new year, new season, new day. We are encouraged towards unhealthy lifestyles. You have some family members that'll see you and they're like, if you got a little extra on you, they hug you and say, oh yeah, your boy, that's a good old, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Man, oh yeah, he healthy. Look at that boy. That boy over there's a big old healthy boy right there. And then, and hey, good morning, Dr. Pinkney. All of you guys, I'm so good to see you all. And so we are just like brainwashed into eating a lot and big plates and all that is, you're family. And we don't realize as we get older, that starts to kill us. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. We're still trying to eat at 50 and 60 like we 20 something where our metabolism was insane. All right. You know what I mean? It's the reality, just crazy. And now we still got those habits. Why? We've programmed ourselves to this unhealthy lifestyle. I took my kids yesterday. I don't tell everybody my goals, but Zig Ziglar says you can tell everybody your give up goals, but don't tell everybody your go up goals. Because not everybody can handle your go up goals because they don't know how to support them. But yeah, you're right, Oscar. Absolutely. Depends on the part of the country. So my give up goal this year is I'm really pushing towards being a vegan. Now, I've always had a pretty healthy lifestyle. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really pushing vegan. There's a couple of reasons. One, as you know, Jay, who's in part of this, JD and the trainer, is a vegan. And he talks about the health benefits of being a vegan. I said, man, I need to look into this more. And since I realized you can be a vegan, eat some of the best foods in the world. You know what I mean? So eat some of the best foods in the world. You can eat healthy food and it still tastes good. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So here's the thing. I took my kids yesterday to this place in where I live in the state of Delaware, and they've been there before. They've been there, but my son couldn't remember the last time he was there. And so we went there and listen to this. We said, let's get an app. And this is a place called Homegrown, one of my favorite food places. And so the app was like a buffalo cauliflower. Listen to that. Buffalo cauliflower. Yeah. You see, and you're right, Eva, what Ron said is powerful. I can't eat it if I didn't buy it and allow it in my space. That's good thinking, Ron. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Cece. I get it. Thank you for being on. So here's the thing. I was wondering how they were going to enjoy this thing, man. Like, I wonder if they're going to enjoy this because I've had it before. I love it. The waitress brought it to brought it to the table, and my kids, I said, just try it out, and they sliced into it and they killed that thing. Man, they were loving it. They were like, man. And my son said, man, this is good. And I said, son, every ounce of that was healthy. Every ounce. And I said, Dad is, and I told them, and so Jay always talks about you got to bring your family in on the journey. And so I said to my son, I said, your dad is going on this journey of vegan. I'm becoming a vegan. And so what's going to happen is there's going to be things I'm just not going to participate in. I can't shut my house down and say, y'all can't never bring anything in there. But I would encourage you to at least encourage me on my journey. You know what I mean? Just respect the fact that this was your chat. Now, if you want to join me, I would love you to, because they were younger, you just do it. But when they get older, they're older. But my son said, I'm going to definitely work on doing this more. And so, and he actually has a pretty healthy lifestyle. Since he's been home since COVID, it's been difficult. But, when he was on campus, he was always fasting and intermittent fasting. He lived the lifestyle of fasting. He kind of got away from it because of COVID. Now he's getting back into it. My daughter definitely, and my other son has been pretty, my youngest son loves fruits and things like that, and so the reality of it is, when you change your diet, you give your children and your family the gift of good health. Please write that down. You give them the gift of good health. Yeah. And so, like what Rochelle is saying here, stop waiting for the doctor to force you to make new habits. Only you know your family tree. And like in my family is diabetes. Anybody else out there? I mean, everybody, especially my mother's, that track of my mother, diabetes was rampant. And my mother's father, it wiped all of them out. All of them. I'm not talking about, I mean, wiped out, killed them. You see? But I remember, I'm not trying to point out to my grandfather. I didn't spend a lot of time with him, unfortunately, because it's family dynamics. But every time I would go see him in St. Louis, we would go get donuts and go get cookies and go get, and all these different things. And I'm like, man, I was a kid, like, sign me up. I didn't know any better, but he had really severe diabetes. And I'm a kid, and his wife used to get frustrated with him, And you say why you say his wife? Well, she wasn't my grandmother. He remarried. So the woman that he married would get so angry because he would always sneak out and eat all this junk food. I mean, all the time, and so at the age of 62, he was in bed, rolled over with a heart attack, and never woke up. And you imagine, I always think if he could have got another 20 or so years out of that, he would have a chance to meet my kids and my family. And, see the things that we're doing, but he didn't even make it. You know what I mean? Because some folks that are, it's just really, you see? And so, but the reality is, and I'm not trying to put him on the spot, but that was a choice. Like Ron is talking about, if I don't buy it and put it in my house, that's a choice. My hand is a choice too. I can choose to pick something up and put it in my mouth, or I can choose not to. You know what I mean? I mean, let me tell you, around here, I keep myself surrounded. I got Vita Coco. I drink my coconut water. I don't have my stuff over here, but over here I got some. I'm at a hotel right now doing work. Sometimes I got to go away for a few days and just because we're still working from home, and I got to go and just dive in because not that home is, with just so much going on at home, but the reality is sometimes I just need I got to get busy. So I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of courses I'm creating. So I'm away doing that, but I got blueberries over there. This morning, I had some avocado. Now, avocado has a lot of health benefits. That's why I eat it every day. It has a ton of health benefits. It has good fat. It has antioxidants. It has heart healthy nutrients. I do it. And some people say an apple a day. I do an avocado a day. You know what I mean? And that's all I eat for 4 days in the morning up to dinner. I do intermittent fasting. I'm just telling you all this because it's a give up goal. And so just 4 days a week, I don't do it every day. And, and the reason why I do this is a good friend of mine who is actually my barber, this guy, listen to this. There was a video, a series called The Science of Fasting. Yeah. The Science of Fasting. Okay. Write that one down. The Science of Fasting. I'm just going to put this in here. Yeah, thank you, Ron. They are. I love avocados. Yeah, I love avocados, man, and they're healthy for you. So, all right. So the Science of Fasting is this what I and I looked at that video and it blew me away because it talked about people going to this facility that were in, not everybody has to do this, but they were in pretty bad shape as far as a variety of different things, and they would go through this 30-day fast period. Where they would have, this was a controlled environment. So, and so they had very little to eat. And what happened to these people was amazing. Amazing. People had chronic this and chronic that and chronic this and chronic that. Yeah. All these, yeah. I mean, it was just crazy. Diseases going away. Allergies going away. My friend had sleep apnea with a machine, gone. Had gout, gone. Cholesterol issues, gone by intermittent fasting. Guess what? He has 2 daughters that he's raising. He just gave them a gift because at the pace he was going, he probably wouldn't have made it that many years. In the pace that some of us go, we won't either if we don't take our health seriously. All right. So imagine that. And here's the funny thing. And Ron, you on it, man. Good job. I'm proud of you, man. Way to go. I'm on it too. This is part of my lifestyle now too. I've been intermittent fasting for a while, but I'm really diving in because I've now conjoined or brought together intermittent fasting and vegan lifestyle. And because I'm trying to give my kids a gift. I want to give my family a gift. I want to give my cousins a gift. I want to give my nieces and nephews a gift. I want to get the good health. I don't want them to have to take care of me in my 60s and 70s and 80s. I want to be able to get up and move around and make choices. Why? Because I decided at a younger age to take this serious. I'm in my 50s. Some of you are in your 40s. Some of you may be in your 30s. Good time to start. Good time to start. Let me tell you, there's this guy I remember seeing in an interview. And I'm going to give you a few things to think about and we'll be done. I saw this guy in this interview. He was 88 years old and was like running marathons. Older black gentleman. And they couldn't believe it. And he was running them. I'm not like talking about like old man running them. He was running these things. And they interviewed him and they said, how in the world at 88 years old, you running like, he wasn't running like a young boy, but in his 40s or 50s or something. He said, at 58, I had a heart attack. And he said, there you go, Ron. Boom. Nailed it, buddy. Job well done. He said, and Ron's saying he's 71. He said at 58, I had a heart attack. And this is what he said. And he said, from 58 to now, he said, I started eating rabbit food. He called it rabbit food, salads, avocados, all these different things, blueberries. My blueberries are full of health. I got a whole box of them over here, And he said, since that time, he said, my heart totally healed itself. He said, my body totally readjusted, and I have not had one medical issue since I was 58. Thank you. Thank you, Eva. We're going to be talking about this for the next 4 weeks. We're going to push through this because we talk about in our world, helping people and, in workforce development, helping clients and, doing all these different things. But the reality of it is that we got to help ourselves. We got to help our families. You know what I mean? We got to help our families, and so let me give you a couple of strategies, just they're mental strategies to think about. All right. Here you go. Okay. Thank you. There you go, Rochelle. Here's a couple of strategies. This ain't got nothing to do. I'm not, this is just mental. Here's what I want you to do. 1, tie your good health and the benefits of your good health to your children and others. Give them the gift of good health. Amen, my friend. God bless you, Ron. It's powerful, man. Tie doing what you're doing into how it's going to benefit somebody else. So when your friend invites you out for that burger and fries, say, that's all right. We're going to the vegan place today. I don't want to go to the vegan place. That's fine. I will go get my food. We'll meet somewhere. I'll eat what I'm eating. You eat what you eat. Don't put yourself in a situation to go into these places if you don't have the willpower to do it. You see? Tell your friend we'll meet somewhere neutral, but I'm going to get my stuff. You go get yours and we'll meet somewhere neutral. You got to tie it in. You got to say, this is too much. This is too, when it comes to me and my family, I got to be wise with this thing. I'm trying to be healthy. And and so you got to tie it into a benefit, because if you just do it for yourself, a lot of times you're going to give in. You're going to give in because, like I mentioned, my grandfather, I mean, he had this little donut place that you would dip the donuts in and it was sugary, man. We went there. We lived at that place. They had this little things called White Castle burgers. Some of y'all may not know about that. Them little bitty hamburgers. There was a White Castle burger place in St. Louis, yeah, in St. Louis. We lived at that place right on Kings Highway in St. Louis. We lived in that place. And I'm saying it was his demise. And I'm glad I'm recognizing this, because with my family's history, it would be mine. My mom had dementia, but she was diabetic, and she all these different things and all these different challenges with diabetes. And man, and I remember years ago just talking to the mom, don't go to the pattern of everybody else in the family. And she just had struggles with that. And I love her dearly, but it's that generational curse that we Christians call it, that you just keep going on doing what the other family members have done, and yeah, belly bombers. Yeah, they're good, but boy, they dangerous, boy, them little things. And here's what I'm trying to say to you. You don't have to be like me. Just don't live in those places. My thing is I'm going full tilt. But if people aren't going to go full tilt, because everybody can't do what we're talking about doing, just make sure the majority of what you eat is healthy. All right? And there's another thing too. Don't just go towards good health. Run away from bad health. I saw this guy jogging one time. He was in the gym. I was at a business event in, I think I was in Wisconsin. And this dude was really pushing it. That's right. That's right. Break those curses. That's right. He was really pushing it in the gym with his running. And I said, man, I don't mean disrespectful and like I'm trying to pry in your business. How old are you? And he said, I'm 66. And he was running, boy. He was putting it in. And I said, man, you really care about your health? He said, listen, let me tell you something. He said, I'm not running towards good health. He said, I'm running away from bad health. He said, I get on this treadmill, and he said, like, I got bad health chasing me and I'm running from it. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but that stuff cracks me up, man, when people say things. I remember everything people tell me, so I just bring it into my presentations. But he said, man, it's like I got bad health behind me. He said, I'm going to catch your butt. He said, I get on that treadmill and run. Whatever your motivation is, use it. Use it. I'm doing it now with my son. He's training for he wants to go to the Citadel or Virginia Military Institute, or he just got interviewed in Congress to possibly go to West Point, the Naval Academy, or the Merchant Marines Academy. And let me say this, I get up with every day because I'm training them. I'm training them, and I'm training them so that he can prepare to pass this test, which he'll pass because he's really good at it. He's gotten the skill sets. He wasn't always like this, but since we've been training. But see, while I'm in that gym pushing him, I'm in that gym pushing myself, because I want him to see his daddy taking his health seriously. So I'm in there weightlifting and running and pushing and encouraging him. And, being my son, sometimes it's difficult because I'm his dad. And I'm like, son, you got to stay the course with this stuff. But the point I'm trying to make to you is I do this every single morning and I don't miss. One of the beauties of not traveling now is I can put together a pretty good pattern routine. When I was doing airplanes, it was hard back and forth. I would always wake up in the morning and do something, but now I have this thing fully locked in to doing things a certain way that could be advantageous to my health. So that's all I have for you today. Take a look at our information. A lot of you aren't familiar with our reinvention process. I put a link up there. Take a look at that. Share with people who may need some coaching, because we're really pushing a lot of the individual coaching this year. Yes, we do organizational stuff, but we work with people and organizations, to help them transform myself and Jay and I know Pierre does some coaching as well. Rachel's doing efficiency coaching, time management coach. So we all doing some coaching, yeah. And so go look at my reinvention, because some of you may have seen the reinvention process page. Share it with your friends, share it with others, sign up for the podcast. Last week we released Pierre Campbell's thing and it was powerful. We're going to be releasing every week a different, interview. And sometimes it's going to be me and Jay sharing some strategy. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Permission for others watching. That's good. Thank you, Ron. Thank you for all your input. A lot of you guys had a lot of good input, and it makes these a lot easier and more fun when you give your input. Thank you, Patricia. Please share this link with some other people. Listen, take it, copy it, paste it, and send it out to a bunch of folks. Say, you need to hear this, especially if you know folks that got unhealthy lifestyles. Share with them. Now if you get this, that person's not saying you have an unhealthy. That's me talking, but it may be someone that has a healthy lifestyle. Just share it with people. I always tell people, don't keep me a secret. If you're in workforce development, share us with other organizations. Corporate, we do corporate programs. We're doing a lot around corporate equity, and inclusion and things like that. Share our stuff with people, because when you hear something good and you see something good, don't keep it all to yourself. And in my business, the reality in my work is we're all referral based anyway. So thank you, Lily. I'm going to check out here because I got several things I got to do. And Ron, I thank you. That means a lot, man. You sir are the catalyst. Thank you so much, my friend. Much appreciated. God bless you. God bless you all. Take care now. Bye-bye.